Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our RimWorld Star Wars Let's Play. So, we finally have enough wood to start laying down some floors. Now, we don't have enough wood to actually finish everything I've queued up here, but we should see it getting laid down at least most of the way through here. So, I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know exactly how we're going to furnish this room other than the statues. I might just do wood floors throughout and leave it at that. And then we'll have some doors on the three ends here just to kind of make this a separate area, especially given that this will become the main, if not the only entrance to the base. So I'd like an additional level of airlock if we can help that. And this will need to go away eventually. So we'll have to take care of that at some point. Also, regarding the long-term future of this series, I'm still trying to come to some decision regarding like an in-game goal, and I'd like to reach that soon. I'm hoping to carry this series to like 70 to 75 episodes, so a little ways longer but not too much. But I do have a plan in mind for what's next, and so I think we will be doing a Star Wars series for Beta 19, and I have a pretty good idea of what that is. I'm doing a bit of modding at the moment to get us ready for that, but we will see how that goes. Let's go ahead and get started. Heth and Maris are almost back, I believe. Oh, boss is starving. Oh, because of his mental break, yeah. But yeah, they are out of food with, I think, a day or so left, so they will be somewhat starving when they get here, but they're not going to die or anything like that. They'll be alright, they just will be very upset when they get here. Also, I went ahead and I queued up planting here, so as soon as we see this area actually get planted, I will go ahead and... oh, we need to get it warmer in here. Yeah. I'm going to need some heaters then. I should have put vents in here as well. That would have been smart. I have them in there. This one didn't get one. Well, at the very least we're going to need... oh, I don't have components right now. Like at all. Or really steel for that matter. I'm surprised we're so low. It looks like we got all the steel out of here. We must have been flying through it. Huh. I thought we had a lot more than that. Especially given that I think we got all the steel back after we put these floors in. At least the steel that we used on that. We did just harvest a lot of it. There's one component, and we're about to have some more. Maybe it's this whole armor situation. It's very possible that with all the extra copies of armor that we've made, that, oh crap, there we go. We've wasted a bunch of materials on that. Although I think those are more plasteel than steel heavy. Yeah, I don't think they require all that much steel. So let's see, when is this going to finish? Pretty soon, probably tomorrow, based on the looks of it. This should not be covered in random weapons. I don't know what's going to be on those yet, but whatever it is, it's not going to be that. So let's go ahead and clear these off. I don't mind keeping the DL44. I'd like that to get repaired, but for the other stuff, I'd prefer it not stay there, because I'd like to get rid of it. And so if it gets moved in here, I can do that. Also, does somebody need an E11 blaster? Ox, Keel's got one. Mordant, we're still waiting on your armor. Corona, you're not much of a shot, so I don't think that's going to be worthwhile on you. Jade has a pretty good blaster already. It's more of a sniper rifle type of gun, but that's fine as long as she's got something. Engels, we were going to make you a stormtrooper as well, I think, and so we'll get you an E11 at some point. Okay, Yeah, so hopefully they don't continue to create more new projects, because I think we're starting to get a bunch of them and it's wasting materials. Yeah, so we have another Mando veteran armor there, which we do not need. So I'll have to figure out what to do with that. I'll probably just delete it or something through the console, or not the console, but through the dev tools, just so it's not a continuous problem. Move things along a little bit more quickly now that people are going to sleep. Did we run out of wood? Is that why they stopped? Hard to say. Yeah, it looks like we're out. Or if we're not, then there's none stockpiled. When my steel auto doors is down. It's probably up here. Yeah, that one. And as soon as we have components, we can get that built, which I don't think will be too much longer, although we are going to need that component that we have to go repair that auto door, which sucks. And we do have somebody making them here, right? Prisoners only. I'll lower that to 8. Anybody capable is welcome to do it. Maybe we don't have anybody capable, because Cold was doing it before, and then Cold disappeared as part of the whole update thing. Neither of you are going to be able to do it. Fumiko, you're not capable yet, and you're also missing several limbs. So right leg, left arm, and shoulder, kind of, and then right arm and shoulder. Yeah, so basically just one leg with a damaged left foot. Oh, and there's another basin down. Yeah, you know what, as soon as we get some of this stuff moved over down here, I don't know why they're not planting. Oh, I do know why, because the temperature in here is bad. Yeah, that's right. You know what, let's do this. Let's hold these doors open and try to get some warm air traveling through here and into the rooms. That should help. There's our Mandalorian armor finished. It's superior quality. I'm gonna have Hask wear this one, and I'm gonna give the one he's wearing to Boss. There we go. And Boss, why don't you come wear that? Actually, is that what I want to do? Oh, you guys. No, I think I wanted to give Boss Death Trooper armor, so I'm going to give Pathfinder this one. So Pathfinder, when you're done, come wear this. You two are going at it. No deadly weapons, alright. Just a little bit of bumping into each other, and now they're done. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Okay, so yeah, I don't think I have anybody working on that in here. Frost, are you any good at crafting? No. That's a real bummer. Kenta, are you in, like, serious... No, I just looked at yours. Zash, you're cold from hypothermia. Otherwise, you just have a bruise. And it looks like Mordant is going to finish the Stormtrooper armor pretty soon, which will go to Mordant, I believe. Yeah, so he'll get it. And then we'll need one more for Angles, but that's a long way off because we don't have the materials right now. Whose armor is this? Kenta, why do you not have your armor on? Huh. Well, when you're done with that, come put your armor back on. Because those robes are not going to do you any good. Do I not have him set to a restrict thing? Oh, I need to fix this. Whoops. There we go. Wait, did I do that right? No, I didn't. That's what I intended to do. And it's probably fine. Actually, for the prisoners, I should make sure that they're working, definitely. Okay. Who is having issues? Engels? What's your issue? Is it the hypothermia? Yeah. Yeah, it's the hypothermia. They're trying to get these out here built just to protect our geothermal generators. And these are obviously quite a ways away from our base. Can't really be helped though. So are we completely tapped for steel? I think so. Yeah, we got everything that was in here. So what I'm going to do now is let's go ahead and grab this stockpile zone and we'll expand this all the way up. And yeah, just go ahead and fill that in. And I'll bring that over a bit as well. Not all the way to the edge because I do want them to be able to get through here. And it looks like this can be brought over as well. Why is that just sitting there? Thank you, Pathfinder. No, no, no. Don't you drop that there. I thought that was... The way I dragged it, it should have been a continuation. Pick up unfinished component. And why would you even have that? You know what? Just drop it. Who snatched that off of the component bench? Anyways, I'm trying to expand this stockpile. I don't know why it didn't drag before. There we go. And I'll leave it at that for now, but at least we're starting to get this stuff moving. Also, why the hell is this here? I don't know. They'll fix it. The dogs will fix it. The dogs are smarter than the people. The dogs understand stockpiling. The people don't. Alright, anyways, as soon as we get some of this stuff done, I am going to go ahead and remove all of the hydroponics basins from here and replace them with soil. And that should make our operation a little bit more efficient. In fact, how far along is a lot of this stuff? I think what I'm gonna do is let's grab all of these, and there isn't an option for me to forbid more planting. That's another thing I like about these, is I can tell them not to sow. Can't really do that here. So what I am gonna need to do is just tell them to harvest whatever I can, which probably only gonna be these here. But we'll harvest what we can, and then we're going to go ahead and tear these up. And that should give us some stuff back. I don't know if we'll get components. Generally, constructions that only cost a single component will not give you any components back when you deconstruct them. But we'll see. At the very least, we'll get some steel from it. And then we can go ahead and lay down the soil there. We already have soil up here, so once we do this one, I think we'll work our way up to here and try to do the same here. We'll leave the lights. I'm not going to replace them with clear roofing again, or transparent roofing. We'll stick with the sun lamps because they are more efficient. But obviously the hydroponics basins are not. I mean, they are in terms of growth rate. 230% is not achievable with the soil. I think the best we can do here is... Oh, we'll find out shortly. Oh, these are a little too cold. It should be pretty warm in here. How did it get so cold in there? I don't know. But anyways, they only get up to 200% is the moral of that story. And you guys are about 120. Probably because it's... I mean, it's not a poor temperature in there. But we desperately need wood. Hopefully some of these finish soon. If that continues to be a problem, I may have to... You know what the issue might have been? We may have made too many advanced components. I'm wondering if that was the problem. Come on. I need my options here. Yeah, that was the problem. So I need to get rid of that bill now. Because that just used up everything we had left, and now we have 11 advanced components that we have some use for, but not a lot of use for. We only really need them for these and these. And since we need regular components for those two, if we turn all of our regular components into those, it's not really going to do us a whole lot of good. So all we can really hope for now is a trader to come by and sell us some. And to that end, who is our best negotiator? Probably not you. Also, Zash leveled up back there, and I need to take care of that. Who have I been using in this playthrough for trades? I should have been using you to level you up. There's our Stormtrooper armor before we forget or somebody comes by and grabs it. Let's assign this. So Mordant, come put that on. And then, once you're done with that, come equip this blaster. Alright, so let's see. Social, not even capable. Only 4. I can have Engels do it. But I don't see anybody better than... Oh, there we go. Pathfinder, perfect. He is hauling a component. Do me a favor and ignore that. Come down here. Oh, okay, never mind. Don't bother. Because there's nobody to call. But I'm remembering now that Heth is the one that was doing that for us. So that's why we haven't... Or... That's who would have been doing it. That's what I was trying to say there. Okay, so Mordant, you are equipped now. I would like one more set of Stormtrooper armor for Engels, but that's probably going to be a long way off. Actually, I think Caroline needs one as well, if we get to that point. But yeah, if you have like an end game suggestion that was not really related to what we were talking about, but if you have some idea of what we could do for like an end game type of thing, feel free to throw it out there. Because I would like to give this series a proper ending. Oh god, there's a lot of dogs in here. I was trying to cull the population down, but I don't recall queuing up that many. But they're just reproducing too fast, and we can't afford to just like let them run amok. Can they get food if I set them to this area? I guess they can eat the simple meals, that's probably fine. But I don't want the puppies going outside. Okay. I don't know what it could be. I could spawn in a really big raid, and we could just, you know, hold the line as long as possible and go from there. But I am going to try to wind this series down. I'm going to do that with all of our Beta 18 Let's Plays, but this one has been going on the longest, so this one I think is going to be first. The Warhammer 40k playthrough, I'd like to do a little bit more, but we had, in the episode I recorded for yesterday, kind of a little bit of a rude awakening. We thought we were a little bit further along or more powerful than we were, and then I went to try to raid an enemy base, like an actual base, not an outpost, and we would not have had any chance to win, so I ended up having to back out of that. We were just completely and utterly outgunned, and they had a lot of people there, so if we wanted to do something like that to end that playthrough, I'd need to probably build up our forces even more. Here, I don't know if that would be the same issue, because we're not dealing with ridiculously powerful enemies, and we also have force sensitives that are armies unto themselves. So if we were to say, let's check on your progress, since I'm going to head out here anyways, but if we were to maybe go hunt some rebel bases or something, I think that would be a lot more doable with characters like him that, you know, can kill several enemies themselves. Oh, you still have a lot more ways to go than I thought. We do have the issue is, like, it would be so long just to get to these places, because we'd be hiking through the snow. So we're looking at, I guess 5 days isn't terrible, but that would be one hell of a fight, I would wager. And then I screwed that up. There we go. There we go. And there we go. 10 days to get to there, assuming like nobody gets wounded. And I probably wouldn't vacate the entire base. I would just send like a elite strike force type of thing. But that's something that we could do. There's kind of a chain of them, but we're just increasing the time over and over. There's some stuff, especially the shuttles, that I'm going to do in the next Star Wars playthrough that just never quite made it into this one. So unfortunately, that's not really a solution here. But in that next playthrough, I do want to implement some sort of vehicle like that, because I want to be a lot more interactive with the world, I guess, if that makes sense. I want to be more aggressive in, you know, going out and attacking bases and outposts and stuff. Why are you constantly coming and going? If you have serious hypothermia, that means you've lingered out here for a good part of the day. Yeah, I mean, if you have a mental break, that's kind of not surprising. Why you felt the need to like do whatever you're doing is beyond me. Let's cure his bite. That'll get him out of pain at least. To a degree, not... It won't get rid of the hypothermia stuff, but the baseline pain that he's feeling. Liam, what is your actual job right now? I'll put your doctoring up higher since you're pretty good at it. Smithing and tailoring, so he should be crafting. He clearly was not crafting. He's not good enough to make components, though. He needs to be 8, and he's only at 7. But yeah, what was he doing out here? Was he stripping bodies, maybe? It's possible. Beyond that, I don't think there's any resources being harvested. Oh, there is a bit of silver up here. We should mine that out. And other than that, I think we've harvested all of the visible resources. Oh no, there's plasteel here too. So we'll have to continue strip mining. And beyond that, we'll have to put down one of the resource scanners to find more stuff. Oh, they still had food. Why did it say they didn't? Maybe Heth ran out of food or something, and she had a bit of food. Weird. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to queue up some mining up here. And we'll do the same thing that we've done everywhere else, like every 2. I'm going to run this along as well. And then every 2, we'll go ahead and dig on up. Looks like Liam's bite is taken care of. That should make him a little bit happier as well, because he's going to be on anesthesia. So that might have been a good way to mitigate his mental break as well, because he's just going to be out. But hopefully we can find some resources in here. Steel would be very, very helpful. Haven't really been able to keep steel up high enough in this playthrough, which is very odd. That was also odd right there. But generally steel's not a problem, especially when you're doing a mountain-based playthrough like we've done here. Because you're digging through stuff so frequently that you end up running into resources all the time. But for our purposes, that hasn't really been the case. We've almost always had steel issues. For a long time we had plasteel issues, which prevented us from making a lot of the Star Wars stuff that we wanted. But more recently we haven't had any issue with plasteel. The limiting factor has been components for the most part. We haven't had enough components to use all the plasteel that we have for armor and blasters. And steel to a degree, but steel is a lot easier to come by than components. So steel has been less of an issue, but still an issue. And as much as I'd like to make some bionics for people and some more of this stuff, I just don't have the resources to do it. And yeah, unfortunately with... Oh, now he's awake and his break is back. With our prisoner Cold just up and disappearing, we lost the ability to have... Oh nice, lasers. Got those back. I think we're doing the laser turrets now. Yeah. So I wanted to look at some of these weapons. Incendiary laser. Laser sniper rifle. Laser minigun. Tesla gun. Some of these are very intriguing, and then just like laser rifle. I don't know what the prism does. Some of those are very intriguing, but I don't know if we can even afford to make them. None of them are in here. Okay, I wonder where they are then. Is that going to be at the machining table? Let's see. It doesn't look like it. Which is odd, because this is where you make the charge rifle, which is the closest thing Vanilla RimWorld has to like an energy weapon. Well, it is an energy weapon, but one would think that it would be here with those. I don't know where else it would be if it's not in the fabrication bench or that. I guess possibly it could be at the component bench, which would be less than ideal. Yeah, that's where it is. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. Well, first of all, I want to look at these resource requirements. Crystal. Well, that's a bit of an issue. Where do we get crystal? I have yet to see any crystal. Either way, we don't have the components for those, so we won't be able to do that just yet. Please close. Why won't you close? There we go. I'm gonna do this. Probably should have done this a while ago, but I'm gonna open this up to anybody, so that at least somebody's making components for us there. If the prisoners can't do it. It looks like we did get maybe a bit of compacted machinery though, because there's components here. Mando veteran armor. Yeah, I don't want that one. I would like more stormtrooper armor, but we're just not ready to do that right now. Alright, so we got another snow hare. Not that we needed one, but there's another bunny that's going to join our colony. I don't know what the other one is doing. I rarely see it anymore. But we do have a snow hare part of our colony. I just never ever come across it. Ah, there it is, Tammy. Does that mean we're gonna have a ton of these now? Is this a male? It's probably a male. Where are you? Yep. That's generally what the game does. If you have one of an animal that's a particular gender, very often the game will have you randomly pick up through self-taming another animal of the same type but different gender. It happens more often than you think. Oh, nice. 6,000 power right there. That should help make up for some of these solar lamps when we get them running. I've gone ahead and I've queued up deconstruction of all this, and it looks like they've jumped to it pretty quickly, which is nice. So, let's lay down the soil. We'll get a bunch of steel back from the floors as well. Because, again, for whatever reason, I mention this all the time in the World War I playthrough, but you cannot place these soil floors on just regular stone floors. So you have to lay down something. I usually do concrete because it's fairly inexpensive. But when you put the soil over the concrete, they actually tear up the concrete and give you the steel back. Or at least sometimes they do. Maybe they don't. I don't know. No, they're doing it. She isn't getting any resources back, but they are. Maybe it's her construction skill. But we're definitely getting steel back for this to some degree. And then once that's done... Oh, I should probably do that down here. Did I not get this one? No, I did. They just haven't done it yet. But once that's done, we'll go ahead and till it. I guess I should do that now. And then we'll have to reallocate the growing stuff. Yeah, I wonder if it's her skill. No, she's pretty good. She was getting it there. Huh. For whatever reason, she wasn't getting any there. Who had a mental break? Come on, you guys are like right here. Just hop back in base real quick and we'll deal with it. Oh, Mars had one. Thorpe Brawler. Is that a prisoner? Yeah, okay. They're all having mental breaks because of food. Let's see. Weakened. Health. It's just trivial. they're not that far along yet. So annoying. All they have to do is make it back and we'll feed them. But they're gonna have like a minor rebellion right outside the base and not get fed. I mean, that's fine. If they want to starve to death, they can do that. I think that's one thing I find really frustrating about RimWorld sometimes, is that pawns often get in their own way for survival and things like that. They'll very frequently do things that make their situation worse. And I think that's my biggest problem with like the mental break system as it is that it just doesn't reflect reality very well. So you would think, you know, given the trials that these guys are going through, they're starving, trudging back to base, that they would be really keen on getting back to base at any cost, because that's where the food is. Having a mental break, you know, a couple hours away from the base because you're starving doesn't really make sense, because there's no food out there. Why, you know, why would you stop moving if you're starving? I just don't understand. And so I definitely think the system could reflect reality a little bit better, but obviously it would be hard to code for every eventuality or possibility. Okay, well that was a quick break at least. Let's get some growing zones down. Did they... Maybe I just can't see it. Yeah, it's still there. Good. Just making sure they didn't tear down the sun lamp, because we kind of need that. Pull that up there, and I'll leave the sun lamp uncovered just for the sake of evenness. Although these are going to be uneven because of the heaters. Oh well. It's not that big a deal. Actually, I think they can still plant there. We'll see. If they can't, it really doesn't matter. That's getting deconstructed right now. Let's go ahead and till this soil. And eventually we'll do that one as well, but for now that's not a big deal. Okay. So I'm going to move a bunch of the food production here, I think. Or am I? I'm wondering if that's a bad idea. I'm going to have to tear these down, so I might need to do it at least temporarily. But I don't really want food production here. I really want to migrate it up to where the prisoners are and have prisoners handle that. But until we have enough prisoners, I can't rely on it. So we're going to do all rice here because it's high turnover. But eventually, since we're using tilled soil now, I'd like to incorporate some corn. Because corn is a little bit more efficient, I guess is the word. It doesn't need to be harvested as frequently, but it has higher yields, and so generally you get the same amount of food just with less work. But you can't grow corn in hydroponics basins. That's why we haven't been using it, but now it is an option. But I kind of want the prisoners doing that because, I don't know. This is just going to involve a lot more hauling, I guess. If we, you know, we harvest these materials and then we need to move them down to the respective crafting areas. I'd rather just be growing it near the crafting areas like we are, in theory, going to do down here. So that's why I would prefer that this just be like rice and corn, and then the prisoners can harvest it. They can, you know, maybe dump it in a stockpile or something right here, and then people can haul it into the freezer or whatever. We have plenty of rice though. I'd love to trade some rice away for some components or something, but that has not been a possibility so far. So, you know, we'll just have to wait until it becomes one. We have a lot of components kicking around, but none actually made it to the stockpile. Yeah, we have like 9 components right now. They're just not in a storage area. You'd think the animals would come along and help us with that. But no. No, they will not. Will you guys get back to base already? Stop because Thorpe has had a mental break. I thought his mental break was over. It said it was over. The time to destination has gotten longer. Malnutrition's up to moderate. all they need to do is come in here and we can give them food, but if they're not going to do that, I can't really help them. So it doesn't look like they'll be back this episode. I thought for sure that they would be, but nope. Oh, Zash leveled up. Let's handle that before I forget. Zash, let's give you some lightsaber defense now that you have the lightsaber. We're going to focus a lot more on this stuff now that she actually has one of her own. However, I did mention as a character, I was going to build her more along the lines of like a Jedi Consular, Sith Sorcerer, and that she's going to be more focused on her force powers than her lightsaber abilities. But we do want her to be at least capable with a lightsaber. Okay, so are they on the move now? They should be moving, just incredibly slowly. You're still being carried. You're not in any pain, though. That's good. You're not dead, right? No, you wouldn't have a consciousness if you were dead. He's just... I think he lost a leg or something. I don't recall what his deal was, but he wasn't able to walk, so I think Heth is basically fireman carrying him. These guys are doing alright. None of them are dying or anything, as far as I'm aware. Let's actually look. I think we can see. Oh, shattered pelvis was keeping him from walking. That's right. What about you, Thorpe? You lost your left arm at the shoulder. These lightsabers. You've got a bite scar on your head, but otherwise you're fine. And then what about Guy Vogel? Addiction. Right humerus is shattered, so he's going to need his upper arm rebuilt. Which we can actually do, and we don't need to make a bionic for that. It will cost us a good amount of plasteel medicine, but we can fix that, along with their scars. But yeah, they need to get back to base first. Have we hit any resources? We have, good. Good, good, good. We need to harvest all of that. We'll harvest this and whatever else is in there. Okay, cool. Yeah, at least we found something. Animal starving. Oh, because it took an eternity to get down here. If it dies, I don't care. I don't care at all. I really don't like the idea of a bunch of rabbits spawning in our base. Now that we have a male and female, but I'm not going to stop it. I don't care that much. Okay, that's been planted. It's all rice, correct? Yeah. So, now that this has been tilled, let's go ahead and add more growing zones. And again, this is only temporary. It's not going to remain rice forever. Why did it just ignore what I told it to do there? I think the game's like lagging a little bit and it's not registering my mouse clicks. And I'm hoping that's just a beta 18 holdover thing. I wasn't having that issue before, although we were getting a little bit of lag in this playthrough from the lightsabers. Oh, why did I do that? Meant to do this one. So we were getting a little bit of lag from that. However, this appears to be new lag. And I think it has something to do with the UI issues we've been having, where the UI will disappear like that. Still haven't figured out what the source of it is, but obviously with us kind of bringing this to a close, it's not a huge issue because, you know, we won't be dealing with it all that much longer. But it is still annoying. And let's see, how are we doing on time? Well, I'm at about 45 minutes, so I think we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. I'll try to trim that down a little bit. I know some people really like the longer episodes, but the thing is, everybody who watches them is very vocal in their support of them, but every time I post them, they get significantly less views. So I know that people enjoy the longer content, but there's a lot of people that are put off by the length, or they just don't have time to watch something that long. And so I definitely notice it in terms of, you know, viewership. So I'll have to try to find a balance there. But anyways, please hit me up with suggestions in the comments as to how we should kind of wrap this up. I'd like to do something for it. I don't want to just have it kind of run into obscurity. I'd like to do something fairly conclusive, whatever that might be. It doesn't necessarily need to be like a suicide run or anything like that. I don't necessarily want to kill off all these characters, but just something kind of epic to finish off with. And because we are going to do another Star Wars playthrough, we might be able to carry... I'm not going to start with any of these characters, but if somebody comes along that kind of looks similar or plays similar, maybe we can, you know, name them the same thing and have them kind of revisit us. But that's optional. We don't necessarily have to do that. And I don't know if it will... It might work for the playthrough that we're doing, but obviously until I give you guys more information on that, you wouldn't be able to really contribute to that thought. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some RimWorld with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.